Hey guys, welcome back to Fireman Up Disc Golf. Today I'm excited. I just got back from the Disc South Expo in Dallas. I was actually on my way home from it. So excited about it that I had to stop in the course. Happens to be the one in Decatur that I like to throw new stuff at because it's a little more open. So I'm sorry if you were wanting to see the boost in the trees and stuff. But for me, I don't think this is necessarily going to be a tree disc. I don't even know if this disc is going to necessarily be for me. The numbers on it are 10, 5, -1, 3. It's pretty overstable. Now, a lot of y'all know that I throw the trail, which I have right here. It's a 10, 5, -1, 1. And granted, this one's a little beat in, but I can usually get a good straight with a little bit of fade. I got a feeling this is going to fade a lot on me. Plus, it doesn't help. We got a little bit of a headwind, kind of a left to right headwind. So we'll see. But just wanted to get out here and show y'all what the boost will do with a little bit of a lower arm speed and probably not that big of a windup as most people take. So this one's about 290. Biggest thing I'm going to try to do is keep it off the concrete. I'm going to throw it as flat as I can just so we can see the characteristic of the flight. But in all reality, on a disc like this, when I first started throwing it, I'd put it on a little bit of ante and see if I could flex it a little bit, get a little more distance. So got a feeling we're not going to be able to get a lot of distance on this one. Woo, look at that bad boy. Well, one nice thing is I made the Mando and I didn't go in the parking lot. So that's a win. But you can tell how overstable it was for me. Even with me trying to work on a little more reach back, you can see it dumped out. Now here's the difference. Here's my trail. Again, it's a 10, 5, -1, 1. And the reason why I'm showing the trail is there are a lot of you that throw trail. And I know there's a lot of you that throw trail that have the lower arm speed. The trail works really good. So I'm going to show you the difference. Now, I got a little too much air on it, but you can see the distance. We're right at pin high. We're probably about 30, 35 feet further than the boost just went. All right, let's go see what we got. I'm not going to work on putting, but as you can see, the boost is right here, pretty good outside, probably even edge of circle 2 outside. And then this one is probably mid circle 2. So I got this in a little trail, a little more up in the air. So it kind of faded a little bit more on me with this hill coming down. But yeah, you can see the difference in the stability for a lower arm speed for the boost. So we're at hole 2. This one's about 363 feet. You got an upper level and a lower level. We want to try to get down that lower level. This boost ought to work really good on this one because you do want to hyzer down. My trail sometimes will go a little push too straight for me, but it's not bad. You just have to upshot from up top the hill. So we'll go with the boost first. Might try to see if I can put a little bit of a flex on it, see if I can get a little more distance. Still didn't get tons of distance, but I got more. You can see how much flex I put that on. There's actually a nice flight. It's what I usually do when I try to throw something overstable when I first start learning it, is I flex it a little bit. All right, so let's go the trail, the difference. Got it up a little bit high. We did push for more distance, and now we're down even with the pin. Distance wasn't too bad. You can see where it tried to hyzer, and that might have been putting a little too much flex on it, so it didn't get further down. The trail's further down, pretty much even with the pin. A little bit off to the left, but I like that shot a lot better, especially a little flatter. But you can see it on a little bit of a flex. Hole 3, kind of wanted to show you, I kind of stand behind it. See if my shirt helps, but you can see the difference. When these are laying flat on the table, which I probably ought to take a picture of, but this one actually goes under here a little bit. This is a little domier, the trail is, than the boost. So it basically goes under a little bit, so the parting line's a little bit different. But you can see how curved this is compared to this, so you can tell it's a lot more overstable. Also, it's kind of got, it's not a bead, but it's kind of pushing at a feel. I guess the reason why I like the feel, it reminds me of the trail. I don't feel much difference in the trail other than just a little bit more of a groove in there. Showing my phone number, sorry. This hole here is 306 feet. You can see this little danger pipeline sign right here on the right, and you'll see a tree to the left. There's a gap right between those bushes on the right and that sign and that tree. This might actually work out good. The only thing is do I have enough power and speed in my arm to get it through that gap? The trail I can get through the gap. I'm not sure on the boost. We'll give it a shot. We also, again, have that headwind that's left to right. We're gonna go a little bit to the right of that danger sign and see if we can get it to hyzer in. Oh, too much inside. Man, putting that on a hyzer with my arm speed, it's not a great idea. All right, let's try the trail in that same gap. See, that went through the gap. Now, granted, I have thrown that trail a lot more and I'm used to it, but you could see where I had a little bit of hyzer on that boost and man, it just dove. Here's that gap I was talking about. You can see that little opening, so you want to kind of come over these bushes. Looking back at the tee. It's a neat little hole, but boy, you get off the left, especially during the spring and summer and all that's grown out, it's tough. Now, the trail is straight ahead. It made it through the gap, but you can see I hit the tree up here and bounced off to the left with the boost. Again, it's another 50 or 60 foot difference in this one compared to the boost. Again, it's a little more beat in, but then again, that's the difference in that -1-1, especially for all you who throw the trail. And if you have similar arm speed to me, this one might dump a little bit more on you. We'll keep throwing though. We'll see. We won't come to any conclusions yet. This one's 460 feet. You can see way down there is a little white PVC. That's normally what this plays for. This is the long tee. The short tee's up in these trees with a Mando, but they tuck the basket up towards the out of bounds. So throwing through that Mando with this disc, I don't think it's going to work for me. So I don't think it's going to give us what we want to do with this disc. So I'm just going to throw out to that field. So we're not necessarily going for any basket on longs or four because it's 460 feet. We're just going to get a good feel for how it throws. Going with the boost. Gonna try to do another little flex on it. Well, that didn't flex at all. You can just see that thing dump. I almost, well, I parked the hole 8. All right, let's do the trail. Huge difference in distance. I'm not trying to review the trail here. I thought it'd be a nice comparison for all those who like the trail to see the difference in arm speed and what the boost is doing. Here's one of the shots that I think can work for me by using the boost, having the boost in the bag. This pin is about 275, 280, which has been a challenge to get this to. I normally throw a mid-range on this and you get in circle 1. That gives you an idea. So this might be one of those good shots. Normally I throw a mid-range, or if I go a crave, I'll throw a crave at that tree and have it fade right before the tree towards the basket. Unfortunately, sometimes the reason why I throw a mid-range is my crave will carry a little bit, push further. I don't think this is going to push on me. So I think if I can throw it at that tree and get it to fade for me, we'll see. Man, that's just a lot of hyzer. And I think I threw that about 250 feet. To give you an idea, I'm going to throw a mid-range on this one and go just to the right of it. Man, that was almost an ace. See, that's a mid-range. That's the difference. That's a 10-speed overstable for low arm speed. You could see how that thing dumped, probably went 250. I throw a hex mid-range, and I'm pinned high and almost aced it. Now, I know with what I just said, there's a lot of familiarity throwing a disc multiple months, multiple times, getting beat in. I understand all that. But there is a point to where, you know, maybe this is more of a utility disc for low arm speed. I think it's a great disc. It's not the disc wall. I just don't have the speed to get it there. It definitely take a long time for me to get this to flip up. But again, I know a lot of its familiarity, and I know if, just like with my trail when I first got it, it would fade on me pretty good, and it took me a little bit to get used to it. But man, it would take me probably a long time to beat this in to get it to where I don't necessarily think you want this disc to fly straight. I think there's a reason why it's overstable, and there's usages for it. I just don't have as many usages for this much of an overstable disc at the moment. This one's 358 feet straight ahead. Got out of bounds on the right. I'm gonna take the boost again first. I think I'm gonna try to put a little bit of flex on it again. Seems like that's the best route we did on 2 when we had that longer run. I don't necessarily think that was flex. I think I just threw it out. I don't hate the distance. And I know hyzer is supposed to be more consistent, but I would like to get a little more distance. All right, let's see it throw the trail out flat. We do have a tailwind, so it's gonna have a little bit of a fade. I did get this trail on a little more hyzer than I usually throw. Technically, I usually throw my jet on this one to get a lot closer. Sometimes I even disc down on this one and seem to get a better flight. There's a trail. This time it was only about 7 or 8 feet apart. So putting that flex on there, I can get some distance on it. This one's about 270 feet. This one's kind of misleading. It goes downhill, but then it comes back uphill, so it plays a little bit more than 270 feet. We're gonna go with the boost again. Part of me wants to put it on that flex and try to get as much distance because we got a headwind, a little bit left to right headwind. But part of me wants to see if I can throw it flat and put it out towards those 2 trees and see if I can get it to drift in. Let's try that because this is a review and we're just trying to look at them. Oh, I got it low. I'm gonna go get that one. That one was too low. All right, we're back. Wouldn't have been bad if it had skipped, but going uphill, it just didn't want to skip. All right, same thing. We'll try the trail. And that one's parked. Here's the boost. You can see another, again, 40, 50, 60 feet up here is the trail. And here's the trail. That's going to wrap it up for today. Man, that's a quick look at the boost. We compared it to the trail, and I think they've got a lot of good comparisons there as far as people with low arm speed, especially the ones who like the trail. This is what this is going to do for you. It's going to be a little more overstable. And it's not a tick. It's like 2 or 3 times more overstable. And the distance you get with this would be more like a mid-range for me. So if that was the case, I would just kind of stick with the balance because that's what the balance is for me. There's still that 260, 270 with a hyzer with a good little skip. And that's what I was getting out of the boost. And we're talking a 5-speed to a 10-speed. So would it get a little more skip if you needed it? Yeah, because of the wing on it and everything. Whereas this balance isn't going to skip quite as much. It's just something that I don't think is going to make the bag. It's going to make the practice bag. I enjoy trying to learn new discs like this and flexing them a lot and try to get them to different lines and things I can work on. It's a good learning experience. But as of right now, again, it's going to make the practice bag, and I'll stick with this type of speed and this type of distance. I'll just stick with my mid ranges on the, you know, like some of y'all throw a pyro, or for me, it's the balance. And if you get a chance, get out to the Disc South Expo. Tomorrow's another day in Dallas. I think the times are 11 to 5. And you get a chance, get the VIP because I think I've got it. I don't have it in my bag, but I got the Proton Pixel Clear. Man, it was sweet. It's got a Disc South stamp on it. Met a bunch of great people. Met Nick from Armory Disc, awesome dude. Jay Millie, man, what a super guy. Broderick was the first person I talked to. Man, just had a lot of fun talking with Broderick. You know, you always hear, be careful meeting the people you look up to or you enjoy watching, or, you know, I hate to use the word heroes, but are your heroes, because you might get disappointed. I was not disappointed by any of the guys I met. I met Nick and Sean with Double Bogeys guys. I met Max with Chasing Chains. Am I saying that right? Chasing Chains. And then Flippy James, met Flippy James. I met Greg with Six Sided Disc. Super guys, man. If you get a chance, I'll try to link in the bottom some of their, I'm sure most of y'all have gone see it. If I don't link it, if I don't get a chance to link it, because I'm going to try to get this out tonight, just yell at me in the comments and I'll shoot you their info. But man, super guys. Being that I just got it today, I thought it'd be fun to come out, and I couldn't wait to throw it. I had a feeling it was going to be overstable with me, especially with the low arm speed. I hope you enjoyed it. If you made it this far, you might as well like and subscribe. Y'all make a great day.